Hey everyone, I want to do a quick video for you on some simple wire management, and we're working on this project here, the Enterprise 1350 from Polar Lights. And if you're doing any kind of electronics or any kind of lighting and wiring, this is going to be a good application that you can use. So first of all, real brief background. If you're not familiar with this project, a lot of wiring, a lot of lights. Now this is one of the nacelles, and it's actually the least amount of wiring you can see, but at the same time, wire management can still be an issue. So I've been coming up with something, trying to find out a good way to minimize the kind of wiring I'm going to be dealing with, and I came across something that's worth, I'm sure I didn't invent, but at least it's worth communicating. So first of all, on this particular project, they recommend, a lot of people, you can do whatever you want, it's modeling, right? You can get as crazy as you want, but they recommend, a lot of people are saying, don't use, or we don't traditionally use the pre-wired LEDs, which are very convenient out of the box. They come with the resistors, and all you really have to do is connect them to a power source and you're good to go. In this particular instance, a lot of people, for the convenience of space and also having to use some of the custom lighting functions that are available to you, are using magnetic wiring. So you've probably seen this if you're building this model or considering building it. You've probably seen a lot of people using the magnetic wiring. It's very thin, it's very adaptable, so it can get into small places. It can follow a great contour of the model. Very versatile material, very nice to work with. Even small drill holes just get right in there. It's very good. Now, one of the downsides to this is that you have to build all the lighting yourself. That's not really that much of a deal. In this case here, especially if you're using tenant controls lighting and the control board, they're going to send you the lights along with the resistors, and then you're going to choose the lights you need. You have to put them together, solder your resistors on, and then you are good to go. Now, that being said, if you look at this particular piece, I think that there's going to be 4 lights in here. I'm going to count them out. I've got the blinker in the back. I've got 2 that are going to be in the front, 2 floodlights down at the bottom here, a crystal at the top, and then the chiller grill itself. So we've got 4 in total that are going to be in the nacelle on either side. And so that means that I'm going to have potentially 8 of these wires. I've got a positive and a negative, so I'm using green for the negative and then red for the positive. And one of the downsides to that is now I have 8 wires coming out here, and I'm going to have to manage that a little bit better. So a couple things you can do. I'm not sure that shrink wrap is the ideal solution for something this small or this long. You'd lose some of the versatility in that. Okay, so when you're shrink wrapping that, you're going to lose that anywhere where you want to have that sort of contour outlining. And then, like an idiot, I sat here, braiding these things, and you can do that too, and that works to a certain degree. It's okay, but it is time consuming. So one of the things that I did was I came up with a more expeditious solution. So here's what I'm going to do. Show you how I did this. I'm working with about 20 inches of wire. I just want to have a surplus when this is going to be going down into the hull. So let me pull off 20 inches here. All right. Perfect. So what I do is this. Now I'm going to take, if I can find it, here we go. I'm going to take 2 pieces of just any tape, doesn't matter. I'm just going to use electrical tape because it's the only tape I have accessible. I'm just going to cut this in half as well. Don't need much. And then I'm going to go over here. Let's put this here, put this here. And then I'm going to take 2 ends, put them together. I'm going to leave about 2 inches of slack. Okay, something I can work with so I can solder these to the lights or either connect them to the batteries, one or the other. Okay, I'm going to leave about 2 inches there, and then I'm going to take one of my pieces of tape and I'm just going to make a neck on this, just strangle that thing like that. Okay, so that's what I've got. Alright, now I'm going to go down to the bottom And this piece is not even, so I'm going to even that out. Okay, perfect. So now I've got tape and wires and all sorts of stuff. Okay, so now I've got my wires like this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I want to do the same thing for the end. I'm going to take 2 inches again, and I want to put another piece of tape there. Before I do that, I'm going to take that and I'm going to tie this, tape this rather, over here to the end of my Dremel tool. You're probably going, I know where he's going with this. Alright, tape that down pretty good, and if I make a mistake, it doesn't matter. I can keep doing this over and over again until I actually get the results that I want. So I'm going to stretch this out. Unfortunately, see if I can widen this out here. There we go, do this. Okay, stretch this out like this. Pull it, and then I'm going to just go on the first speed until I feel tension. Okay, until I feel like a real tight pull. That's right. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect. Let me get that in. See that? Perfect. Okay? So now, instead of dealing with 8 wires, I'm dealing with 4. Okay? It's very tight. I didn't lose any of the versatility with this. Everything is almost just as thin. I can really get it in tight places and whatnot. So it is an awesome technique. If you have to worry about, soldering your own wires and doing all this stuff, you can minimize what you're working with by just using that Dremel tool. All right? Thanks for watching.